The world is changing and pressure is being placed on manufacturers to make smaller, more economical motors. Even the big boys like Ferrari are folding under the pressure, with their last ever production V12 car being released. While Aston Martin has confirmed that their V12 lineup isn't going anywhere, well, at least for now. Europe has got some crazy tough emission laws that will be put in place in 2026, which will unfortunately force Aston into submission. Now, from a power standpoint alone, the V12s don't make a whole lot more power than their smaller engines. The new DBX 707, which I made an entire video on, and I'll link it here, is powered by a 4-litre twin-turbo AMG V8 and makes 697 horsepower, where their range-topping DBS makes 715 horsepower, and that one is powered by a 5.2-litre V12 twin-turbo, so barely more power, but it is a much larger motor. Now, Moers, the CEO of Aston, feels that there is no logic in using a new engine to replace the V12 in its existing applications. Moreover, he feels that the V12 power plants still have potential and that there is a place for them in his lineup. In fact, later this year, Aston will release the new Vantage, which will have a great big V12 sitting pretty up front. We can also expect to see the V12 to continue in the cars that replace the current DB11 and DBS, with Aston insiders having confirmed that these cars will continue to use the same core structure of the current models. Now, Aston is one of the few that are willing to keep their V12 alive. Most other brands that do make V12s have already waved the white flag and announced the retirement of their V12 engines. Now, what is my opinion on the matter? Should Aston just stop the production of the V12 and focus all their resources and development on smaller, more eco-friendly options? Well, no. And let me explain why. I really feel that these emission laws have some glaring flaws. Yes, I do know that we need to lower our global emissions and that is very necessary for our planet to survive. But I don't feel that it would help in the slightest to punish brands like Aston Martin, Ferrari, Lamborghini, etc. They produce like 1% of the cars that is on the road every day. In fact, every year less than 50,000 V12 powered cars get produced. But in the same amount of time, the total cars being produced worldwide is 90 million. Now you tell me, which is worse for the planet? The 50,000 cars powered by a V12 power plant, or the millions and millions of big trucks and other cars being produced? Which do you think has the bigger impact on the planet? Now, I do know that these supercars produce more emissions than the smaller cars, but there is so much more of the smaller cars that the supercars really don't even matter. But my argument doesn't stop here. Most people that have enough money for these supercars don't drive these cars a whole lot. Most supercars spend 90% of their life just standing still in a garage. These cars don't get driven very often. They're not daily drivers. They are just cars that you drive on the weekend or on a Sunday to a nice place, and it's a nice drive, nice touring experience. It's not a day-to-day driving car, so it's really not going to make a difference on our planet. Honestly, I feel that Porsche is on the right track. We should find a way to make even the existing cars that are on the road already today, the billions of cars that are on the road today, lower their emissions, make a fuel source that is carbon neutral, and then we can fix the bigger problem. We can get all the cars worldwide to lower their emissions instead of just making newer cars more fuel efficient and more green. Make all the cars, the older ones and the newer ones, greener by getting a greener fuel source that can work with the combustion engine. All the synthetic fuels that is being worked on at the moment. Formula 1 is working on a synthetic fuel that can do just this. Porsche is working on a synthetic fuel. Koenigsegg is making a synthetic fuel. There's all these companies on the right track. Why doesn't the EU focus their resources on helping these companies to make a great fuel source that can lower the entire average of emissions on old cars, new cars, everything, because even the older cars can run on these synthetic fuels and the car will produce less emissions. But let me know what you think on this topic. Do you agree with me, or do you think they should just like scrap all nice engines and just give everybody a 3-cylinder? Let me know. You know exactly what my opinion is. Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you disagree or dislike, leave a dislike. Leave in the comments how you feel, and I'll check you guys in the next one. Cheers, eh?